Coming up, hundreds pay their final respects to a hero who died in the line of duty.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Police officers from Ohio to the Carolinas were in Wise, Virginia tonight. UVA Wise hosted the funeral of Big Stone Gap police officer Michael Chandler, who was killed in the line of duty Saturday. WYMT's Zach Hawk was at the Officer Chandler's service tonight and has more from the evening speakers.
About 750 people attended the service, with more than 1,000 others visiting, paying their respects alongside Officer Chandler's friends and family.
I'm gonna miss Michael. Miss him dearly. We prayed together, we laughed together, we cried together.
Politicians and local public officials were also in attendance at the funeral service. Lieutenant Governor-elect Winsome Sears calling attention to the sacrifice police officers make.
Your husband was supposed to come home that night, but instead he went home to be with the Lord.
Delegate Terry Kilgore of Virginia's 1st District shared his condolences and a message of solidarity with the community.
Michael was an asset to each and every one of us here. The fact that his life was sensibly taken from us at a young 29-year-old is something that will cause us an unending heartache.
And Pastor Wayne Begley left the majority law enforcement crowd with an important message.
I want to take just a moment and thank each one of you officers. Thank each one of you public servants.
Thanking them for keeping the streets safe at night. In Wise, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
Michael Chandler also served as a volunteer firefighter. He was also an active outdoorsman who enjoyed the natural beauty of his Appalachian home. He died on his 29th birthday and leaves behind a wife and daughter, as well as many more family and friends in the community he served. A graveside procession is scheduled to start lining up at 9 a.m. tomorrow at Bullitt Park and is set to leave at 11 a.m. Those who wish to pay their respects are asked to line the sidewalks along the way to Powell Valley Memorial Gardens. The graveside services will be limited to family and emergency personnel. Virginia State Police say 33-year-old Michael Donovan White of Big Stone Gap is in custody in connection with the fatal shooting. The Commonwealth's attorney says more updates on the suspect will be released soon. A bill to honor the legacy of a Kentucky congressman's late wife will go to the full House for a vote. The Cardiovascular Advances in Research and Opportunities Legacy Act, or CAROL-AC, combats valvular heart disease. It's in honor of Congressman Andy Barr's late wife, Carol, who died of the disease. The bill would invest in research to identify people at high risk. The bill cleared a House committee today. A companion bill is also moving through the Senate. Some eastern Kentucky communities are seeing an increase in vaccination rates as cases begin to tick up again in parts of the region. Magoffin County Health Department Director Pete Shepard says they got their shipment of booster shots 3 weeks ago, administering close to 200 each week while averaging 85 COVID cases per week. He says after losing prominent figures in the community like Rescue Squad Captain Carter Conley in September, hundreds began scheduling vaccine and booster shot appointments.
And I think it gives a grim reminder that even though you do all the things right, and you can still succumb to this disease, especially if you're medically compromised in any way, and where diabetes and a lot of other heart factors are in this area is a little higher than anywhere else in the country.
Doctors say people with pre-existing health conditions are more likely to have worse symptoms from COVID-19, and Magoffin County has higher than average rates for diabetes, hypertension, and other conditions. We're learning new details about the man accused of being a serial shoplifter. Investigators say Michael Reed targeted several Kohl's stores during the past few weeks here in Kentucky. Officers say Reed was caught leaving the Kohl's in Georgetown while carrying a jewelry display box. Police said it had several pairs of 14-karat gold earrings inside. They also say Reed cut the security cable on this display box. Police said the stolen items were worth about $26,000.
And we had another warm day in the mountains today. However, cold temperatures are on the way back as we head into tomorrow, as we continue to see overcast build in tonight. Camera from the University of Virginia at Wise. You can see some of those clouds starting to move in there on the time-lapse camera. And taking you down to I-75 at Mount Vernon, watching a few clouds try to sneak in there as well this evening. Now, highs today, very warm. We were 1 degree off of tying a record high as we went to the National Weather Service site in Jackson. They sat at 74. Pikeville got to 73, as did Prestonsburg, and it was 72 in Hazard today. Temperatures around the region right now still mild for this time of year, warmer than we should be for daytime highs. Low 60s out there. A few middle 50s as you head down to the Cumberland Valley. Wind gusts, they've come down a little bit, but still 16 miles per hour in Somerset, 21 in Richmond. Satellite and radar, we're already watching the first round of a few of those showers working their way toward the Ohio River this evening, and those clouds continue to build in for us tonight. So we'll continue to see breezy conditions, mostly cloudy skies with lows tonight only in the upper 50s. That's going to be warmer than our afternoon high for tomorrow, and I'll have the details on that coming up in just a minute. Steve?
Evan, thank you. Tonight, a group of parents in Rowan County are calling for school officials to take action after they say their children were targets of racist social media threats. The parents say one Snapchat post said students planned to jump the minority students, among other threats of violence. The group of parents met tonight to figure out their next steps as they demand change and accountability. Chad Hedrick is in Rowan County with their message.
These parents told me that they feel like by getting their story out there, it's giving them some momentum and hoping it puts pressure on the district to make some changes.
If nobody's going to speak up for our kids, then we have to.
These parents say their children have been victims of racist remarks and threats at school. They're critical of how the district has handled the situation. Parents said they want to see more education about race and the history behind offensive language and actions like using the N-word.
It's just horrible that anybody would be mean to someone just because their skin is a different color. It's a little darker.
Mom Jessica Shearer's son Malachi is a freshman at Rowan County High School. She says he was threatened over Snapchat this week. She says she's glad to have the support from other parents as they figure out the next steps in their fight to keep their children safe.
There's always been stuff that I've had to deal with alone, and it's hard. But having other people that I can talk to and we can help brainstorm to figure out ways to make a change so nobody else's kids have to go through this. It's pretty amazing.
And the parents are waiting to hear from the NAACP. They have reached out to them and they are expecting a response by Friday in terms of how the organization can help them moving forward or just different ways that they can call for action. In Rowan County, Chad Hedrick, WKYT.
The Rowan County Sheriff's Office said in a post on Facebook that they found no credible threats at the high school. Our sister station did reach out to the superintendent today, but they have not gotten a response. Just what will Thanksgiving look like this year? Well, local health experts are weighing in. The holiday is 1 week from tomorrow, and officials are aware that families may plan to gather like in years past. Infectious disease expert Dr. Ferris Cotter says gatherings are fine if everyone is fully vaccinated, but he urges caution for those who are not.
If somebody is not vaccinated, they need to wear a mask, a fully fitted mask, to protect the people around them who are not vaccinated and who are not eligible for the vaccine.
Dr. Cotter also strongly encourages booster doses, applauding Governor Beshear's decision today to make them available now for any adult. The Kentucky Theater Association's 50th State Conference is being held this week on November 19th and 20th at Western Kentucky University. This year is the first time in several years that 4 schools from Eastern Kentucky will be sending their theater kids to the competition. Last year, the conference was unable to be held due to COVID restrictions. Theater directors are just happy their kids are getting a sense of normalcy together for this experience.
I just think it's important for these kids to be together with other people that just get it. They understand exactly what they're having to do every day, and it's just good to be in a support group like that, to where we're just like-minded people. It's a family, really.
Each school will take a 1-act production to state where the entire show must be built on stage, performed before a live audience, and taken off the stage within 45 minutes or less. Somerset Mayor Alan Keck is seeking re-election. The Commonwealth Journal reports Keck is the only contender who's filed so far. He was first elected in 2018. Now, he said earlier this year he was considering a run for governor in 2023. Pink Friday is just a couple of days away as small businesses invite their communities to shop local ahead of Black Friday. The event, which several cities are taking part in this year, means a lot to the business owners in Pikeville. Store owners say it gives them a chance to showcase their merchandise and hear from customers about the items they are searching for this holiday season, so they can all work together to make it one to remember.
What's most important for everybody downtown is that we support each other and we keep that money local. But when you are shopping small, you're also getting that one-on-one customer service that is completely unmatched versus any big box store.
Hall says she's excited to see people pouring into the downtown area Friday to kick off their holiday shopping with some good deals. Kentucky's modern rifle season is underway, meaning it's one of the busiest times of the year for deer hunters. But some are spending as much time tracking down supplies as they are tracking down deer due to a shortage of ammunition. Manufacturers just can't keep up with the overwhelming demand, which General Manager of Stevens Firearms, Brad Gilliam, says spiked during the pandemic.
It's made everything extremely difficult. Your time spent trying to source and track down product has increased. There's nothing to find when you do get on there.
Customers have called Gilliam asking to put ammo on hold due to a bottleneck in the supply chain. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife officials also want to remind hunters about some safety requirements, including wearing blaze orange hats and vests or a jacket while deer hunting. Thanksgiving is about 1 week away, but one town in Floyd County has put together some beautiful sights for Christmas. Archer Park in Prestonsburg is lit yearly with hundreds of thousands of Christmas lights. City officials say this year's display is one of the largest in the city's nearly 20-year tradition.
I'd say we're closing in on 1.5 million, and probably 85 to 90% have been transferred over to LED lights. So it's an investment the city makes to see those kids' faces light up. It's well worth it.
Stapleton says the city will be testing some lights on Monday to prepare for the official opening of the display later in the week. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, it was the role of a lifetime for a Floyd County Dungeons and Dragons group as they live stream to raise money for Kentucky children.
And another cold front is headed our way for the last couple of days of the work week. I'll have the latest on the way.